Hello, I'm Jamila Musayeva, an international etiquette consultant, author of etiquette books and pre-recorded online etiquette courses. In today's video, I find myself in a very beautiful place, very unusual. It's a car showroom that was graciously provided for us so that we can shoot today's video, because today's video is about car etiquette, how to properly get in and out of the car, and all the other interesting lessons about car etiquette. In today's video, I'm going to show you two different car types, SUV and sedan, and I'm going to show you how to get in and out of these two cars. The technique is pretty much the same. All you have to do is be more cautious when you're getting on a higher car, especially if you're wearing something as short as what I'm wearing for this video. And it's actually no surprise that I chose this dress, because I wanted to show you how you can get in and out of the car wearing a short dress and trying to not show too much of your skin as much as possible. I know it's a challenge and I'm on for the challenge, and you can do it too. So this car is BMW X5 and it is a rather higher car. So this is an SUV. There are of course some SUVs that are even higher that have extra ladders. This one doesn't, but still it's high enough. And since I'm in short dress as well as high heels, I'm going to show you how I can get in of this car elegantly and out elegantly as well. So as I approach the car, I'm going to use the hand that's closer to the door handle. So this is my left hand to open the door, and I'm going to use my right hand to push the rest of the door. So like this and like that. Next, if I'm the one getting into the car and there's no one to help me, then I'm not going to push the door too far away, because then it's going to be very difficult for me to close it. I'm going to open it semi-halfway, so as I'm seated on the seat, I can use my right hand to grab the door and close it. So this is the position that's going to be in. I'm going to step closer to the car, and I'm going to first take the seat. Once I am in the seat and my feet are hanging here, I'm going to slide both feet in, keeping my knees and my ankles together so nothing is exposed as I'm swinging my legs in. And as I'm swinging, I'm going to slightly move my legs to the left side and swing it all the way in, and then close the door. As I'm stepping out of the car, first I open the door, not too wide, just enough for me to have a passway here. Then I'm going to bring my body all the way closer to the end of the seat, like that. And then using the end of this door and also the seat, I'm going to hold onto both to help myself to swing my legs together without having to move them. And as I swing them in together, I will bring my body closer to the end of it, put my feet both on the ground, open the rest of the door, and step out. And as I step out, I will close the door if there's no one to help me and leave. If you're going to be seated in a passenger seat behind, you're going to do exactly the same thing. First, turn your body all the way in to face the car. And when you are doing this, you're going to bring your body closer to the seat, so your back closer to the seat first. First, you're going to take the seat and then install yourself well at the seat. So most of your body is now on the passenger seat, so your legs are just hanging out like that. And then you're going to use this part at the top here to help yourself and add more pressure in a way and swing your legs in. So I find this car extremely adorable. My bucket list wish is updated now. This one is added there. We're going to try to get into a low slung car, and I'm this time getting into the driver's seat. Obviously, I'm not going to be driving in heels. This is just for the shoot, but I'll show you how I'll get into this car. So first things first, as I approach the car, I am going to approach it from my right hand side and open it from my right hand. Use this one to move slightly away the door. The next challenge is I'm going to take a seat in a very short dress, trying not to expose too much in front of the camera. So imagine you're doing the same. What you have to do is not face the camera or face the person, but rather turn your body inwards towards the car so not much is exposed. So I'm going to first take the seat, fix my dress, and as I've taken the seat, I'm going to use the steering wheel and the end part of this car to push my body slightly inwards into the seat, and then bring my legs closer into the car, like that. I'm not going to be driving in heels. And I'm going to close the door. Okay, now it's time to get out of the car. I open it, the door, just enough for me to walk out. And then I'm going to bring my body, again holding onto the steering wheel, closer to the edge of the seat. And then I'm going to swing my legs outwards one at a time, and I'm making sure that my body is actually facing the door of the car, so it's not to the outside, so people don't get to see what is going to be exposed here. I'm trying to be as discreet as I can in this dress, and I'm going to use the steering wheel to help myself push myself out of the car like that. Step out and close. One of the most commonly asked questions when it comes to using the swinging in and swinging out method when getting out of the car is, what if I have a heavy bag? What if I don't feel comfortable, swinging my legs, or for some health reasons I can't do it, I feel uncomfortable doing that. So there is an option of actually stepping in 1 foot at a time, as you'll see in the video where Queen Rania, she arrives to New York and she steps 1 foot at a time. She's carrying a heavier bag and she's wearing pants. In that case, there's no danger of exposing anything, so you can actually use this method to step into the car. But you can see the stark difference between swinging the legs in together, how elegant that looks, versus stepping 1 foot at a time. But again, there are some vehicles where it's impossible to swing the legs. Then you can use that method of 1 step, 1 foot at a time into the car. However, if you have the mission of really making sure that you're going to use the swinging method, what you can do is, if you have a heavier bag, what you do is you first place the bag into the car, maybe to the other seat or in front of you if you are in a driver's seat, next to you, and then you take the seat. If you have a clutch bag, that can actually help you to disguise certain parts that are most likely to be exposed if you're wearing something short. So I'm going to show you right now how you can use a clutch actually to hide your front when you get out of the car and also when you get into the car. Actually, Princess Diana used this method quite often when she was wearing dresses to help herself to disguise anything from potentially flashing out. Another 2 important things that I want you to keep in mind when getting in and out of the car is that the moment of fixing yourself or grooming yourself should happen right before you get into the car. So make sure that if you have a long dress or you have a skirt dress, make sure that you fix your dress, fix your skirt. If you're wearing a jacket, make sure you open up the buttons when you get into the car so you're comfortable. And when you step out of the car, make sure to fix your dress, if there are any folds here and there, or button your jacket if you're wearing one. You can actually see there's a video of Prince William getting out of the car as he's stepping in to the wedding of Prince of Jordan, and he steps out of the car, he fixes his jacket. While he's fixing his jacket, he's waiting for Kate Middleton to arrive from the other side, and then they step together on the stairs as they go to be received by the King and Queen of Jordan, as well as the bride and groom. So you'll see that wherever there is a head of state, monarchy, whoever there is that's being shot, as they get out of the car, they always fix their dresses, fix their jacket, and then step out to the meeting. So that's something that we can take away as well. The second important etiquette rule that when it comes to car etiquette, and that also has to do with safety, is as you step out of the car, make sure that you go from the back of the vehicle, never in front. So you'll see this again in a lot of the episodes where there are heads of state being filmed or taking pictures of. You'll notice how they always step out and then they go from the back of the vehicle if they have to pass from the other side of the car, never in front, particularly when there's still a driver in the car, because the car is still in motion. The driver might for any reason not notice you and drive forward. That also applies to if you're getting out of the public transportation. Always make sure to go from the back of the vehicle, never from the front. You'll notice again in the episode where Prince William and Princess Kate are going to the wedding, as she steps out from the car, she goes from the behind of the vehicle to the front to be meted by Prince William as they step into the formal gathering. So now that we have looked at the ways of getting in and out of the car, let's talk about something also related to etiquette and cars, and that is which seat is considered to be more VIP according to the diplomatic protocol and etiquette. So according to the diplomatic protocol, the seat right behind the driver is considered the most VIP seat. So we have, say, a group of ambassador, a translator, and his partner, then the ambassador would be seated right behind the seat of the driver. The reason this is considered to be the most VIP comes actually from the understanding of safety and security, because in case of an accident, the driver is going to naturally do everything to protect his own life. And that's why he's going to protect the side of the car where he's seated the most. And that happens to be his own seat as well as the one from behind the driver. So that's naturally, it comes from the understanding of saving yourself and saving that side of the car to being the most VIP seat, so to speak, in the car. The next most important seat is the right next to the VIP in the passenger seat. So let's assume we are talking about the cars where the drivers are seated on the left-hand side. So left-hand side passenger seat will be the most important, and the one next to it, to the right-hand side, will be the second most important. And the third least important, so to speak, is going to be right next to the driver. So in case there's an ambassador, partner, and a translator, then the ambassador would be right behind the driver, the partner will be next to the ambassador, and then the translator will be seated next to the driver in the front. But this is according to the diplomatic protocol in general. However, the topic of who gets seated where and what is considered to be most important varies from culture to culture, because in some cultures it is more respectful when you sit next to the driver, or it's considered to be more respectful to the driver but also more appropriate, whereas in some other cultures it is frowned upon if you sit next to a driver, so more IP is behind. I'll tell you this interesting fact. I grew up in Azerbaijan. In our country, you don't really get to sit next to a driver unless it's your father, your brother, or cousin, or someone family related to you, especially if you're a girl. You would be seated in the passenger seat behind, because if you're seated next to a driver, the assumption is he's a family. And if you are a young girl, not married, then the assumption is probably it's your boyfriend. But abroad, actually, this is not something that people are used to. So I remember when I was 16, I moved to the United States to do my undergraduate. And when a friend of mine would come to pick me up, a guy friend of mine, I had the custom of sitting in the back of the car. And once it was an American friend, he came to pick me up. And I went naturally to be seated in the back of the car. And he turned around and asked me, "Am I your driver?" And I said, "No, why?" He said, "Why are you sitting in the passenger seat and not next to me? Because I'm not your driver." So this was a difference in mentality and culture. If you have something similar, please feel free to share in the comment section below if you can relate to me or the guy from the United States, a friend of mine. And ever since I stopped sitting in the passenger seat, so when I was driven around by my friends, I always made sure that I sit next to them, next to the driver's seat. You'll also see that nowadays a lot of presidents enjoy driving the car on their own, and you'll see that they are behind the wheel on their own, and their most important guests are seated next to them in the driver's seat next to them. So now these things have become more relaxed and changed, but if we're talking about the bigger diplomatic protocol, then the rules still stay the same. And on a final note, I was today alone in this beautiful car showroom, so I was helping myself to get in and out of the car. But if this was real life and we had a driver or maybe a gentleman, it could be your boyfriend, your partner, your husband, father, brother, whoever, a male who's willing to help you get in and out of the car, you would wait for them to open and close the door for you. I think it's still very beautiful when men reach to help you out, and when women are accepting this help with grace. I'm maybe old school in that sense, but I really adore these manners, and I think they should be cherished, and wherever possible, they should be used. And on a very, very final note, I think for me, when it comes to car etiquette, a very important element, something that I notice a lot, is how clean the inside of the car and the outside is, as it is concerned with your clothing, with your accessories, with your home, with your space, with your inner world and outer world. Everything around you should be groomed and taking care of your car's outside look, but also the inside look, making sure that you keep it clean, trash free, and smelling very fresh and nice is, I think, essential for having overall a very elegant demeanor. So make sure that you keep your car clean as you would keep your apartment. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Do let me know what are some of your favorite parts. If you want to see more of this kind of content, what are some of your video suggestions? I always love taking notes on that, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye.